therapist and Moses gang back at it again, man. This video is called How to Get a Job, man. The interview because I am truly talented. I have a real gift for interviewing. I definitely wanted to wake up this morning and give you this information. Now, it's not the sexiest video in the world, but I know a lot of y'all are idiots when it comes to interviewing. You might just know somebody, or it might be you. You might just have an interview on Monday or a Tuesday, and you think you got it, and you think you're just gonna walk in there and wear all kind of weird colors and be yourself, and you don't know. Well, how come I didn't get the job? I said everything. I answered all the questions. You answered all the questions, but you answered them wrong, man. So look, I do want to say I haven't always, I've always been talented, right, when it came to interviews, but I would say just the weirdest things. And there was just information I didn't have. I had to get this information. I had to do a lot of research. I had to do a lot of interviewing to actually get it right because I've always been very relaxed when it came to interviewing in my earlier days when I was a youngster, as they say, because I was selling dope. I didn't actually need the job. So I would be talking to the manager and the supervisor, and I'm just like, bro, I'm only doing this so I could have some extra re-up money, or because I'm bored and everybody's in school that I used to sell dope to. So I might as well just get some paper while, by the time people get out of school, I would have been made me some money. But at the end of the day, man, we got to start with this dress, man. Now, you don't want to stand out. I knew somebody who was about to go to a very important interview, and this certain somebody had on a purple shirt with a green scarf, and I'm like, what are you doing? Well, I just want to stand out. I want to look unique. I'm like, bro, you look like, don't wear that. Don't wear that. You don't want to stand out, bro. You want to look like a normal, common sense having human being. Even if you're not, you still want to present yourself like that. So you do want to wear the normal colors, man. White, black, navy, gray, brown. That's all we're wearing. White, black, navy, gray, brown. You see this blue that I have on? Don't wear this blue to an interview. It's too much. It's too bright. It's too in your face. You want to blend in. Now, another trick that you have to acknowledge is you have to understand what's up. Make sure you leave a like button. I mean, make sure you hit that like button, man. Thank you. But you also have to understand the company's colors. If the company's colors are black, wear black. If the company usually wears gray, wear gray. If the company colors are black and gray, wear black and gray. If the company colors are brown and gray, wear brown and gray. You want to go with the flow, bro. Okay, so next, bro, look like a human being, bro. Look like a human being. Take all the piercings out, take all the gauges out. You know what I mean? Have human colored hair. Human colored. This only works if you're not black, okay? If you're a white girl and you have blonde hair but you're really brunette, keep the blonde. You don't have to go to the shop but if you have purple and green and a bright red, don't do that. If you're a black man and you have red hair, cut that shit off. That's not your hair, bro. If you got the little yachty, if you got the little Uzi Vert, cut it off. If you're a black man and you have blonde hair, cut that shit off. Okay? Don't show up as a black man with blonde hair to an interview. That's dumb. That's not what our people do. Okay? Everybody else, if you're Mexican and you have blonde hair, they can look past it. But as far as the purples and the greens, now if you're working for a hair salon, if you're interviewing for a tattoo parlor or something like that, okay, whatever. But if you're about to get a regular job, bro, and you have to especially if you have to interact with customers. If you're about to go interview to be a salesperson at AT&T, cut it off, cut it out, and cut it off. Um, Nextly, bro, this is more so for the actual interview. If you have gaps in your resume, like if you haven't been working for 2, 3 months, there's a lot of times no justifiable reasons for that. But two things that you could say is number one, I'm onboarded with 3 or 4 temp agencies, which you probably should be if you don't have a job. And you need to say something to the effect of during this time of my unemployment, I've been working on myself getting my diet back right, working on my time management skills, working on my personal life, getting my schedule right so I can be able to work because I was doing this, this, and this. What's up, wool stuff? Um, and I've been working on myself and reflecting on the changes that I need to make to be an asset to to your company. That's what you need to say. Personal growth, personal change, bro. This is gonna be a big theme in this. Nextly, bro, don't say if you got fired, bro. Don't walk in. So, the last company with how long were you? Shit, I was there for like a year and some change. You feel me? So, what ended up happening with that position? Why don't you work there? Shit. I'm not gonna lie to you, cuz on the set a nigga got fired. Don't say that, bro. Don't say you got fired or terminated. Say the position um, that I held at that company, that ended. It ended. You didn't get fired. You didn't get terminated. It just ended. The position ended. Okay. Or look for a smooth, casual way. When you say listen to the word fire. You got fired. Do you know what fire does? Fire eliminates things. It destroys. And what does terminate? Terminate like a pregnancy? Okay, the terminator. That means you got destroyed. You got destroyed because you were being destructive. You got fired because it was an emergency. They just had to put you out. Okay, so don't say fired because that's one of those words that brings attention to your situation. Just say, the position ended. The position ended, my job, it was just no longer. Just say the position ended. Don't say I got fired. Don't say I got terminated. Those are die kill words, right? That brings attention to your situation. Now, if you did get, if your position ended, um, take accountability. Now, even if let's say if you got a new manager, if you got new management and she just fired everybody, don't say, man, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I wasn't the only one, nigga. She fired the janitor. She fired uh she fired the assistant manager. She fired my manager. She fired her dad. She fired the vice president. How did she fire the vice president? I don't know, but she fired him too. Don't You got to take accountability. You say something to the effect of um, the vision that my previous manager had. I just didn't fit into that, or something to the effect of to be honest, I was giving it my all, and at the end of the day, the standard that needed to be met is something that I just um, personally didn't fulfill. Don't say couldn't, you just didn't, right? It's implied. Nextly, bro, these answers that you give, they have to roll off your tongue smooth as hot butter, bro. What does that mean, bro? You have to make it sound like you do this all the time, that you haven't been interviewed. Even if this is your first interview in 5 years, bro, you still have to make it sound like you're a confident speaker. Because at the end of the day, they don't care about your life. They don't care about you personally. They care about what you can contribute to their company to make them some money, to make them rich, right? So you have to write these responses down. You have to go on ChatGPT and you have to look up the most common phrases that they're gonna ask. You have to think about the things that you might not be prepared for, bro. And the answers that you might struggle with, definitely write them down, keep it short, and practice them in the mirror. Write them down. Writing them down is very important, right? The next tip that I have to give you: listen to great speakers, preachers, motivational speakers, right? Tony Robbins. Um, I like to listen to Sinful to People before I do interviews, right? Very important. Listen to great speakers, Malcolm X, Khalid Muhammad, whoever not necessarily who you consider to be a great speaker that makes you feel good, because they might be an idiot and they might not be a great speaker. You might not know what a great speaker is. That's why I gave you a couple examples. But listen to those people, right? Listen to great speakers, great motivational speakers, bro. Nextly, bro, you do want to casually mention that you have had other interviews before this and you have other interviews after this. Don't put it in their face. Don't be obnoxious with it. But you might want to say something like, This is one of the more challenging interviews that I've had this week. Or, yeah, you are asking some pretty interesting questions. The other interviews that I had, um, they didn't ask. These questions are kind of hard, but I think I'm carrying myself pretty well. Well, hopefully the other interviews that I have on Thursday won't be this, something like that, or will be this fun, right? Then next, in no particular order, bro. Research the actual company a little bit. You don't have to know all the numbers and things like that. Um, you depending on what you're going for, you might want to research what the company's worth is, right? But definitely you want to know when the company started. You do want to mention that you're attracted to their innovation because they might ask you that stupid ass question. This is the worst question in the world, bro. What made you choose this company, nigga? Because I need a job. Fuck, nigga. What you mean? Why do I want to work for you? I don't know anything about you and I don't care. I know you're paying a competitive rate. That's why I want to work for you, bitch boy. But innovation, right? And then, of course, most companies pride themselves on innovation. They either pride themselves on being innovative or doing things traditionally. So you want to have the knowledge on what makes them different or what separates them from their competition or their competitors. Very important, bro. Very important. All right. So, nextly, we're going to touch on the 5 questions that they're going to ask inevitably, right? They might not ask you this directly, but they're going to ask this. Now, I'm going to skip a step ahead. You do want to take a couple key phrases and say these things in these questions. Answer them before they get to ask because it shows that you're experienced and that you already know what's going on and you're in control of the situation. People do like that, right? Because it shows leadership skills. Now, the 5 questions that they're definitely going to ask, they're going to ask you about your strengths and weaknesses. They're going to ask you about your skills. They're going to ask you, a lot of times they ask you to tell them about your average day in the last position if it aligns with what you're doing. So if you were, let's say, a doctor and you're trying to look for a new hospital, the person is going to ask you, so, okay, Mr. Doctor, what do doctors do from, like, they're going to ask you what you do from when you step in the door to when you leave, okay? So what's important is they're gonna, of course, the first thing they're gonna ask is, "Tell me about yourself." I hate this, bro. I hate this, bro, because it's just testing your ability to articulate what you have going on. And of course, they're gonna want to hear certain phrases depending on the industry you're in. Me, I'm a maintenance tech, so they want to hear keywords. They want to hear electricity, plumbing, HVAC, drywall, painting, curb appeal. They want to hear work orders, priorities. They want to hear you say key phrases, right? Emergencies. They want to hear you say key phrases, but just vaguely, um, that you could use in a general setting. Boom. So the key phrases that they want to hear, I'm gonna give you 5. Look up more, but you typically only need to say 5. They want to hear you say something about teamwork and what you can contribute to the team. Okay? They want to hear about what you can contribute. Use the word contributes. They want to hear you use the phrase time management. Very important. Skills that I can use in my personal life and teach others. They want to hear that you're a giving person, that you're going to pay it forward, that you're going to teach other people, and that people are going to benefit outside of the job from you working there because they want to know that they're not just touching you on a professional level, that they're changing your life, that they're being your guide and your mentor in your life, okay? That you're going to become a part of their company and you're going to embody it in the street, that you represent them well outside of the work setting, all right? Nextly, very important, bro, because I've seen a lot of people mess up a very good opportunity by avoiding this growth in the company. Growth in the company, right? They want to hear that. When you tell me about yourself, say something about discipline, how the skills that you use affect your personal life and you're able to pay it forward, and you want to have growth in the company. I've literally overheard people's interviews saying, I don't want to be the manager. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be no supervisor. I just want to, get my check and go. I don't want all that responsibility. Nigga, don't say that. Why would you say I don't want all that responsibility? It's usually not worth it. I don't want to grow in the company. I just want to. I'm happy with being a worker, a regular worker. I just want to get my paycheck and go. That's very no, nigga. Don't say that. You sound like somebody's scoring baby mama. Don't say that, bro. Don't say that. Even if they are looking for somebody to grow in the company, they're not gonna fire you because you don't want to move up to be a manager, bro. Don't say that. Don't say that. That's not a good answer ever. Don't ever say that. No matter where you work, even if you work at McDonald's, say something about growing and becoming a manager one day, no matter what. Okay. Nextly, this is very important, my nigga. Nextly, during the interview, bro, make the person laugh. Look for pockets to make the person laugh at least twice. The beginning and the end. In the middle, that's important, but they're gonna remember that because I know this phrase is just floating around. I'm gonna go back to the '90s and use the word cyberspace. It's not about, or people don't remember what you said. They remember how you made them feel. People don't remember how you acted. They don't. They just remember how you feel. That's not true. That's only females. Like that's a female trait. I absolutely remember everything a nigga said to me. I don't just remember the energy and the vibes and the I don't remember I remember what the fuck you said every time and what you did every time. Because the thing about it is, I'm gonna go on a side note. Side note is memories come from emotions. How you make a person feel is gonna burn into your mind and your physical brain what the fuck you did. That's why they say a lot of sociopaths and narcissists, true narcissists, not the narcissists, the Instagram diagnosed narcissists, not that, not Dr. Facebook narcissist diagnosis. They say people that have certain personality disorders, they don't have good memories because they don't feel a full range of human emotions. So if you can only feel so much, you're not gonna have that many memories. You're not gonna remember people and people's names because they're not triggering your emotions to make you feel connection with them or connection with the present. So you're not gonna remember that. But me, because I don't have a pussy between my legs, I actually do remember not only how you made me feel, my feelings ingrain specific memories into my intellect. So I do remember a lot of things, okay? Like the average man, but more. So, anyways, back to the normal programming. Yeah, make the person laugh at the beginning and at the end. Now, I'm not saying to be a clown, but if you're a naturally funny person, take that with you. If you're not a naturally funny person, listen to stand-up comedy. Listen to stand-up comedy, okay? That's definitely something you need to be putting your energies together before you get to this interview. So listen to some great speakers, listen to some good music, and listen to some stand-up comedy. First, in this order, listen to some good music just to get the energy, just to make you more receptive to what's going on, right? Um, Music that makes you feel good personally. Then listen to some stand-up comedy. Then listen to some great speakers and go in that interview and just look for the pockets to make somebody laugh or make the interviewee laugh or interviewer laugh. Like I said, I reiterate, don't be a clown. You don't have to constantly do it, but look for it. You don't have to take every opportunity because this is a serious situation. This is a life or death situation. But you do want to actually make the person laugh at some point to show that you are socially versatile, that you're not just a bot, that you're not just a workhorse, that you are a human because laughter connects people, bro, right? And they're going to remember, even if they don't remember exactly what you said, they're going to remember that you made them laugh and that they needed that. Everybody needs to laugh at some point. Another thing, I didn't even write this down, but another thing is you want to get that interview as human, not as humanly, you want to get that interview either first or last, and you want to get that interview as early as possible that's comfortable for you. Now, if you're a lazy motherfucker, I'm not talking about, oh, I wake up at 10, I don't get out the bed until at least 11:30. I take a shower at 12. So what should my interview be? Like 1:30. Don't put your interview at 1:30. Put your interview at before lunch. Put your interview at like 9:30, 10:30 o'clock. 9:30, 10:30, bro. Make your interview as early as it's comfortable for you. Now, if you're not Aaron Moses and you don't wake up at 5:30, Don't put your interview at 7. 'Cause you don't even get an interview at 7 anyway. But if you for real wake up at 8 o'clock, which if you're over the age of 25, you definitely should not be waking up late as 8 o'clock. You should be waking up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning if you're a real grown man, bro. For real. Even on your off days, yes. And you don't have a job, so your off day is every day. You need to be waking up at 6 o'clock, 5:30 at least, 6 o'clock. But if you're a young man and you need more sleep because you're still going through it, your changes, if you truly have to sleep until 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock, 8:30, bro, at least try to make that interview no later than 10:30, bro. And if they offer you an interview at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, which I don't like interviewing in the afternoon because I just don't. But ask them if they have anything earlier just to show them that I'm not trying to sit around and wait for this interview all day. Like I'm trying to knock this out. You know what I'm saying? But if they don't ask, it'll say something about your character and your work ethic as a person. Um, and before I go on, yeah. Oh, Henry O'Manley, appreciate that, bro. Make sure you like this video. Bro made it out with a vacuum cleaner before he went live. I don't know what that means, but make sure you like this video, especially if you're getting something from it. So, anyways, made out with a vacuum cleaner. Nigga, you lame. Why you think about my lips, boy? So, anyways, oh, like I was saying, I might be alluding to the fact that I want you guys to be deceptive. I don't necessarily want you to be deceptive, but I do want you to plant certain seeds in these people's minds that are conducive to you actually getting this job. Because at the end of the day, bro, let me put you on some game, bro. At the end of the day, the company, as long as you're not working for yourself, and I don't want to sound pessimistic, but as long as you're not working for yourself, you are getting deceived. Okay? How do you know? Because the average company profits 8 times whatever they pay you. So, an hour. So, if you are getting a job, if you got a job, if you currently have a job and if you make $20 an hour, they're actually making $160 off of you, and they're giving you 20 out of that $160 an hour. If you're in the South and you're making $10 an hour, you're actually making that company $80 an hour, but they're only giving you 10 of it. So it's some deception going on their part. They could always do better. If you are making $20 an hour, the company is profiting from you $140 an hour. They're making off of you $160 an hour. That's what you're worth. They could be paying you $50 an hour, but they choose not to. They can afford it, but they just choose not to. And they're using their leverage of you being in a needy situation, of you being in a situation where you need them, and they're deceiving you by paying you. Just like when I used to sell whatever I used to sell. Okay, I could get this whole I can get this whole ounce for $50, but I'm selling you a gram for $20. That's deception. That's deception in itself. I'm not saying that for you to carry that mentality all throughout life, but it's energetically it's a fair exchange. You know what I'm saying? If they're profiting $140 off you, if you're actually worth 160, but they're paying you 20 instead of splitting it with you half and half 80, that's deceptive. Anything if you're making $20 an hour, you really should be making $80 an hour, right? So there's some deception there. You sprinkling a little bit here and there. It's not outright lying, but it's you got to do what you got to do, and they're doing what they got to do. So just return that same energy. Just have integrity in everything else. I'm not saying that I only make 20. They should be paying me 80, so I could steal. No, that's still gonna affect your karma and the law of cause and effect. But energetically, just make sure you do a good job. Shoot, just represent. Yeah. Nextly, you're not going to get every question right. Every answer that you give them is not going to be 110% what they're looking for, but just make sure you focus just like any other test. This is a test and this is sales, right? You just have to make sure that at least 80% of the interaction goes well. 80% is a B. You want to get a B plus. You don't want to get a C. You don't want to 70% of the interaction went well. No, because that's barely passing, bro. That means if you would have made one mistake, you would have failed and not got the job. So you want to make sure that you get at least a B on this test. 80% of the interaction goes well. You answer 80% of the questions, 80% right, 80% of the time. You made them laugh. You smelled good. Don't smoke before an interview, cigarettes and black and miles because it's unprofessional. Don't smoke and try to put cologne over it because you can't smell you. That smells nasty, bro. It doesn't smell good. So if you could go, that's why you need to make that interview as early as possible. If you smoke, you could smoke 2, 3 cigarettes, get in the shower, smoke another cigarette, put on your interview clothes, and then go to the interview. As soon as you step out that door, walk down the block, flame up. You know what I'm saying? So, nextly, um, very important, try to turn the interview into a more of a conversation. This is why it's important for you to use those key phrases before they ask you. Tell me about yourself. They want you to answer all the questions that they have to ask you before they have to ask you. So when they say, tell me about yourself, they want to hear about your skills. They want to hear about your strengths and your weaknesses. They want to hear about the average day in your last position. You already know. I already told you that they're going to ask you those. So slip all that in. You should be talking. When they say, tell me about yourself, and that's about it. Don't do that, bro. Tell me about yourself. They want to hear your strengths and weaknesses. They want to hear your skills. They want to hear bits and pieces of the average day of the last position that you were in. They want to hear why. They want you because, again, this speaks to your intelligence. This speaks to your confidence. This speaks to your experience. Okay. So, lastly, bro, very important. This is a very, very important, and make them laugh during the tell me about yourself. Very important, bro. Lastly, ask questions. Do you have any questions for me? No, that's about it. No, don't do that because it just seems like you're nervous and you just want to end an interaction because you perceived it as toxic. Don't skip out on ask me questions. When they say, do you have any questions for me? Number one, I do want to say this for all my niggas out there. Black niggas, white niggas, Latina niggas, Latino niggas, Asian niggas, Indian niggas, all my niggas, Russian niggas, niggas from Mars, niggas from hell, heaven, everybody, all the niggas in the world. Number one, do you have any questions for me? Do not ask about the benefits. Do not ask what you can get from the company, bro. If you want to ask how much they're paying, why would you go to an interview and you don't know how much the job is paying? Because you could have wasted all that goddamn time, did a fire ass interview, you took the cologne out the little magazine, wet it, and put it on your neck. You got your hair done. You went to the barber shop, got your shoes shined, showed up 30 minutes early. That's another thing. Show up at least 20 minutes early, right? You did all of this just to be making 17.50 an hour, but you really need $22 an hour. Okay, but don't ask them about the benefits. Don't ask if you get stock options. Don't ask about vacation time, PTO. Do I get a company car? Don't ask any of that. You sound like thirsty in a way. Like you should know that. They're gonna tell you. And that's something that you could Google easily. But don't ask about the benefits because that's tacky. A lot of interviewers, a lot of employers think that that's tacky. Okay, number one, or number two, I guess. Ask them about themselves. What made you choose this company? How long have you been with this company? What's your favorite thing about your job? Why don't you tell me about your average day to day? How did you get this position? Where did you start? Things like that, right? Um, the last two questions that a lot of people don't ask: when should I know what I got the job? Okay. And then another question that is imperative that a lot of people don't ask. Now, before I give you this information, make sure you like this video and make sure you think about it. I'm going to give you a couple seconds to think about it. Think about anybody who you know needs this information and send it to him, bro. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds before I give you this last piece of sauce. Let me drink some water. You could wait or just double tap the screen and go to it. It's already been 5 seconds. I know. Chill. Is this bleach? No. The last question. This is all a psychological dance, bro. The last question that you need to ask, which I didn't ask because he already told me, but the last question that you need to ask in an interview, after you ask, what made you choose this company? What's your favorite thing about your company? Tell me about your day to day. How long have you been with the company? When should I know something about this position if I got the job or not? When should I know what I am to you? What are we? The last question that you should ask is, how did I do? How do you think this interview went? How was your experience? Don't ask like that, like you're a prostitute. But ask how you did. Ask for feedback. This speaks to you as an employee very highly, bro, because you're open to feedback. You're open to growth. Like I said, you don't want to seem like you're okay being a janitor and you don't want to move up to being a mechanical engineer or whatever the heck might, you know what I'm saying? So ask, how did I do? Do you have any pointers? What are some things that you noticed in this interview that I need to work on? They love that, bro. You're asking them for feedback and you don't even work for me yet? When can you start? You're hired. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, bro. Definitely. So I do want to go over these real quick, just to give you a little rundown, bro. Your dress, bro. Wear the company colors if they are either black, white, gray, or brown. Okay, black, white, gray, or brown. I know, don't wear green. If the company color is black, wear black. If it's blue, wear navy blue. Don't wear this type of blue. It's too loud. It's too distracting, bro. It's not professional. Okay, take out all your stupid ass piercings, bro. If you're not black, you cannot color your hair. If you're not a black man, if you are a black man, don't color your hair blonde or red or anything that is not black. Okay, this color, if you're a black man, show up with this. That's it. Nothing else. Black females, y'all can wear the red and the blonde, but I wouldn't recommend the red, the blonde, whatever. I don't know. You do what you want to do. Ask your man what you should do. Don't listen to me. Ask your man if he has a job. You don't want to stand out. If you have gaps in your resume, say I was working on myself and reflecting on what I need to change before I just kept on trying to find another job and I was helping out my community. I was babysitting, I was helping my mom and reflecting on my mistakes and working on what I needed to change and working on myself. Don't say I got fired, say my position ended, okay? And when if you got fired, don't blame it on anybody. Take accountability. Write down what you need to say that you might struggle with and practice in the mirror. If you've been saying for years, shit, I'm not gonna lie to you folks on the guys, bro, they fired my ass. If you need to write down, well, the vision that the new managers had for their company, I didn't fit the standard for whatever the case may be, whatever I said, right? Listen to great speakers consistently. Mention that you have other interviews and you've had other interviews very casually. Research when the company started, their innovation and what makes them different than their competitors. The 5 questions that they're going to ask is about your strengths, weaknesses, your skills. They're going to ask you to tell them about your average day in your last position, but first they're going to ask you to tell them about yourself. Say what you want to hear. I mean, say what they want to hear. You know, the key phrases they want to hear is you talking about being in a team, making team efforts, time management, how you can contribute to the company, skills that you can use and teach in your personal life that you carry from the position, and always mention that you want growth in the company, even if you do not. You do want to make the person laugh at some point, preferably in the beginning and the end. All right, you want 80% of the interaction to be positive, 80% of the questions to be answered with 80% accuracy. Try to turn this interview into a conversation to make it more casual and to make you more connecting and relatable. And lastly, ask questions before the interview ends. Get them to talk about themselves. What made you choose this company? What do you like about the company? What does the average day look like for you? Don't ask about the benefits. Young nigga, please don't do that. Make the interview as early as possible that is comfortable for you. Ask when you should know something and ask for feedback about your interview. And with that being said, man, I just gave you a whole lot of it. It's Aaron Moses. I'm the bang, you the bang, we the bang. Together, man. Make sure you like this video, comment what you wanted me to talk about next or do a reaction to next. Of course, I got my ring light. Oh, damn, let me see. Let me show you what it does too. This shit's ill. Got a little remote on it. Hold on, let me see. Got a little remote on it. Hold on, let me see. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. I like this setting. Look, hold on, let me see. Can I turn it up? Make it bright? All right, let me turn it down. Let me see. This is the depressed lighting. So today, my dog got hit by a car. My, excuse me, give me a minute. My dog got hit by a car, right? I just, oh, he didn't get hit by a car for real? Spiky! Anyways, man, it is what it is. I like this color. It's cool. This color is a little intense and it's bright. It's like that. Yeah, it's bright. I need to work on my skin. What's going on, man? I've been getting some good sleep too. Anyways, damn, I'm aging. I stopped drinking. What the fuck? Maybe because I'm stressed. Maybe. It is what it is. It's not what it's not. It's Aaron Moses. Maybe it's the ankles. I need to get my dick sucked, man. That's it. Just need to get my dick sucked. It's Aaron Moses. I'm the bang, you the bang, we the bang together, man. Life's in the brother, we the in peace. Okay.